Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Bugamalat, and today I want to give you 5 fights that I would like to see in 2022, as well as 2 other fights. A little bonus here, okay, if you will. So there's no particular order, you guys. So I'm just gonna go from 1 through 7, pretty much. The first five are some serious fights that I would like to watch, and then the 2 little bonus fights. So starting in at number 1, you guys, I would like to see Ryan Garcia versus Isaac the Pitbull Cruz. Now, the reason I would like to see this, you guys, is because of Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia has been chasing Tank Davis for a long time, but that fight hasn't happened. The fight that did happen was Tank Davis versus Isaac the Pitbull Cruz, and it was a great fight, you guys. Isaac the Pitbull Cruz came to win. You guys, I think he did enough to actually be able to probably have gotten the decision. Unfortunately, he fell a little short and was not able to get that decision. However, he did prove himself to be a worthy opponent. And since both men are chasing Tank Davis for another, well, one of them for another fight and the other one for his first time to be able to get that fight, putting these two against each other would be not a great fight in itself, you guys. And it would put them in position to be able to argue a fight with Tank Davis. So at number 1, I have Isaac the Pitbull Cruz against Ryan Garcia. At number 2, you guys, I have Deontay Wilder versus Andy Reese Jr. Now, you guys, these two guys just came off of losses to what I consider the number 1 and number 2 heavyweights of the world, which at the time was Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had a great fight against Deontay Wilder. Wilder came up a little bit short, and Anthony Joshua beat Reese in the rematch, you guys. Now, you guys, Andy Reese and Deontay Wilder would like to be on top again once again. But in order for them to move forward, I do believe that they need to face each other. And out of the two, they can make a claim for one of the top 2 guys without having to go fight all over the top 10 again, you know. At number 3, I would like to see George Kambosos versus David Haney. Now, you guys, I had David Haney at number 1 in front of Teofimo Lopez. However, George Kambosos came in and beat Teofimo Lopez in a spectacular fashion, you guys, which I think would make sense to put Kambosos against Haney and see who wins from there so that we could move forward with the division with the other guys that I have just mentioned earlier. So at number 3, I got George Kambosos versus David Haney. At number 4, I have Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua. Now, you guys, the fight that I really wanted to see between in these fighters was Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, but Usyk got the fight before Fury and totally outclassed Anthony Joshua. That was their first meeting. So I'm talking about the second fight. I would like to see them match up again to see who's going to be able to fight Tyson Fury in the future. However, if things work out the way that I would like for them to work out, Anthony Joshua would be winning that second fight. And then we might have to get a third fight to see who wins out of the two so that they can move forward and fight Tyson Fury. So that's my number 3 pick. My number 4 pick is Usyk Joshua. Number 2, the rematch. At number 5, you guys, this is a fight that just may not happen, but it is David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. You guys, a lot of people would love to see this fight. However, Canelo Alvarez is all over the place in weight divisions and stuff, and he's doing whatever he wants at the moment. But I do think that at some point he's going to have to settle down into a weight class, and whatever weight class that is, I think David Benavidez is going to be right there, right behind him, trying to get this fight. You guys, I think that would be a spectacular fight because David Benavidez is very skilled. He has a very different style from Canelo Alvarez, but both of them are very, very good fighters, you guys. And really, I wouldn't root for one or the other. It is just a fight that I would like to see because I think it would be a great matchup. I don't know, you guys. You let me know what you think. So those are my top 5 fights that I would really like to watch in 2022. And here are the 2 bonuses, you guys. For number 6, I'm going to go with Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, you guys, I just want to see them fight because I'm really mad at both of them. Pretty much for the same reason, but at the opposite ends. That's being that Chavez Jr., you guys, is a professional, but he just doesn't act like it, you guys. He lost to a USC fighter, and in his last fight, it was kind of controversial. He makes a little bit of a spectacle out of the sport, although he is a great fighter and he could show more. He just hasn't. He doesn't have that discipline. Now, the reason that I'm mad at Jake Paul is because he does have that discipline, and he's not a boxer. Well, a lot of people say that he's not, that he's a YouTuber. But a YouTuber who has all the discipline in the world and is really into boxing and learning the sport quickly, how do you not call this guy a boxer? And I think he needs to face real boxers at this point. I think he's way past the point of fighting YouTubers and UFC guys. This kid is really dedicated to the sport and potentially could hurt somebody if they keep matching him up with bums and UFC fighters. He needs to fight professionals. And I think a great introduction for him would be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., a true professional that does not take the sport seriously. I think they both kind of make a spectacle out of the sport, and this would be a great spectacle, you guys. That's what boxing is, and that's what we want to see is great matchups. For me, I think this would be a great matchup. Going into number 7, you guys, would be his brother, Logan Paul. So Logan Paul has said that he would kind of like to fight Mike Tyson. Logan Paul does have a real boxer under his name, which is Floyd Mayweather. I do not think that he won, but he did do a good fight. However, Mayweather was just way too small for him. So Logan Paul fighting Mike Tyson would be an incredible, how can I say, learning experience for him. You know, Mike Tyson is my God, not only was he one of the greatest boxers, but he's a great historian. And there's a lot that he could actually teach Logan Paul, even if it is just through a sparring session, an exhibition, if you will. Yes, you guys, this wouldn't be that easy. Like I said before, you guys, in some of my commentary, you know, I do believe Tyson's a little bit older. I don't think I think he is still capable of hurting people, but I just don't think that is his agenda. I think he would go in there and show Jake Paul a few moves here and there, you know, make sure that they both come out, you know, in good condition at the end of the fight. However, I do think that if Logan Paul gets a little excited and thinks that he could really push Mike Tyson, you guys, Mike will fight back and he will show him what's up. So at the end of the day, you're either going to get a great exhibition or you're going to see these two guys just kind of like flare up and give us a great, great match. You guys, to end this, I do want to say Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul have taken the sport very seriously. I do believe that they are learning as much as any professional. They need to stop doing these little exhibitions. After these two fights, I think these are great fights for them. And then if they do want to continue in the sport, I think they need to do it one or two ways. Number one, they need to start fighting real professional fighters. If that's the way they want to go about it in the sport. But you guys, they cannot train professionally and fight people that are not professional fighters because someone will end up getting hurt, you guys. And that's not what we want to see. Have them match up against people that are equally as good as them. You know, and I do wish them all the luck in the world if that's something that they want to pursue. And like I said, if that's not something that they want to pursue and they would rather just do matchups, get other young YouTubers involved in the sport, you guys, they have a perfect platform to do so. And I think that would be so great for boxing and even for the Logan brothers and the sport as a whole, like I said, you guys. So please let me know if you agree with my matchups. Is that some of the matchups that you would like to see? Also, let me know what other matchups you guys would like to see so that I could take a look at them and, you know, enjoy the sports of boxing. Thank you for watching this video, you guys. I'll see you in my next one. And I hope to see some of these fights. And I hope to see you back on the channel soon, you guys. Thank you. Goodbye.